Good morning, everybody. I mentioned yesterday I would continue today to talk about free choice, but being that it's Tu B'Shvat today, I thought I would interrupt and talk a little bit about Tu B'Shvat. I want to share with you a thought that I've had over many, many years. I never brought it up on this podcast, but something that I find very fascinating. And that is when people ask me about a proof of God in this world, or how do you see the infinite, or how do you see something really, really deep in this world as an example of God being the creator of this world and being some higher intelligence behind it. So I often just refer them to a seed. What is a seed? A seed, of course, we have seeds all over the place. Seeds for plants, seeds for trees. And that's what we're celebrating today for Tu B'Shvat, is the fact that seeds give birth to trees, give birth to fruits, and so forth and so on. But if you put into a little bit of a context and compare it to some of the things that we are familiar with on a scientific basis or on a technical basis, it takes on a very different type of context. Let's start with a computer chip. A computer chip is this very small, perhaps like the size of the tip of a needle, or maybe even quite tiny, especially the way they have them today. And that chip is basically created in such a way to have gigabytes of information within it in order to be able to help a program go along or help in any type of computer function. And those small chips really do some amazing work, and they're the product of perhaps hundreds of patents that are able to get us to the point today where we're able to have such small chips holding such amazing information in it. Well, if you take a small seed, let's take an orange seed, for instance. An orange seed, it's larger than a computer chip. However, it has within it all the information necessary in order to create an orange tree, which means how the tree is going to grow, how the seed is going to break out of its shell, all the way up to how the sweetness of the orange is going to be, and what the orange is going to look like, and what the shell of the orange is going to be, and also how the branches and the twigs are going to be fed, when the leaves are going to fall off. Every single detail of that tree, all the information that is necessary, is held within that seed, small little seed. Now, let's take it one step further. This is where it gets interesting. That seed not only has all of the gigabytes of information within it to be able to create that tree, but it actually transforms itself into the tree. So the seed becomes the tree that it is programmed to have all the information about. Amazing. Now, that would be comparable to, let's say, taking a computer chip and in the early years having it transformed into a TRS-80, or in these days having it formed into this Lenovo laptop that I'm speaking to now, or your cell phone. Now, nobody would ever in their my wildest dreams talk about something like that, although they are starting to do some very, very cutting-edge research about such a thing. But, a chip is a chip. Let's not get carried away and think that it can transform itself into something more advanced than exactly what it's made to be. But God made a seed to be able to do that. Now take it the next step, and you're not talking about just an orange tree. Talk about a human seed and a egg. And that sperm and egg put together are able to, between the two of them, also contain all the information necessary in order to be able to create a human being, and to be able to transform itself within the right environment of the womb to be able to become that human being. Now, that includes the brain, which most people think of as being the most complex part of the body, but in fact, next to the seed, it really is not the most complex part of the body, because the seed is what even creates the brain. So in addition to the brain, it creates every other part of the body, and keeps the balance, and is able to do everything that makes the human being what the human being is. So we see from this little seed how you have an incredible, almost infinite amount of knowledge, and the ability to transform itself into becoming what it's programmed about is absolutely beyond our human intellect at this point. Now, we take it for granted, of course, because we're human beings. We have parents, they had parents, and so forth and so on. So, it's just part of being a human being is your parents give birth to you. But we look deeper into it, and we see how amazing it is. We understand why the Alter Rebbe in the Tanya and in the Likutei Torah calls birth the Koach Ein Sof. It's coming directly from the power of the Infinite One, because it truly represents and reflects an infinite power within this world. So next time you come across a seed, whether it be in a fruit, in a watermelon, in an orange, whatever it might be, treat it with some respect, because remember, we came from one also. Take care. Have a great Tu B'Shvat. It's a custom today to have a new fruit, one that you have not had for at least a year, so that you can say special blessing, Shechiyanu, on it. If you don't have one in your house, try to stop by a supermarket or someplace to pick one up and just enjoy God's fruits, and remember those seeds that went into making that fruit happen. Take care. Have a great day.